Mari Baba, Mari Baba, Iwanesu, Iwanesu, Mari Baba, Mari Baba, Iwanesu, Iwanesu, Mari Baba, Mari Baba, Iwanesu, Iwanesu, Mari Baba, Mari Baba, Iwanesu. Oh, Bangwe Parara Nenzar, Bangwe Chifa Nekukuta, Gumwe Parara Nevura, Gumwe Chipera Nezua, Kutunga Mira Netunga Miwa, Tirivana Venue, Umukuta Nekuka, Tirivana Venue, Umukufunga Nemukurota. Tirivana Venue, Tirivana Venue. Hello, bonjour, Kazuai, Kunjan, Sanibon, Moluen, Grut. I welcome you all to my channel. This is my very first video. And my name is Mamoyo. I'm here to talk about something that's very dear to my heart, something I'm very passionate about. And my greatest motivation is that my story might actually help somebody out there, and there possibly will be somebody who can relate to what I've been through myself. My basic goal is to relate and explain how I have transitioned from religion, which was Christianity, to spirituality, which is ancestral worship. I actually have been motivated by an ordeal that I experienced in my life at the age of 27. At the moment I'm 38. And this ordeal occurred when I was back in Zimbabwe. I was born and bred in Zimbabwe. I went to Cape Town University when I completed my A-levels, and when I graduated, I returned back to Zimbabwe. From the age of about 16 years old, I felt I had like an emptiness inside of me, like a void, so to speak. And I felt this void needed God to fill it, so that, you know, I don't feel empty and I don't feel lonely as I felt at the time. So at the age of 16, I embarked on my search for God. I went to different churches. My mother at the time was attending an apostolic sect type of church, or they're commonly known as white garment churches. So I went on a search for myself to seek God and to seek salvation. On my search, I discovered a couple of churches. The few churches that I went to were mainly Pentecostal, and I wasn't really feeling that I could fit in, because I came from a very simple background, and at the church people looked nice, people looked good, people were well dressed, well groomed. I didn't feel that I fit in. So I wanted something simple, and my main quality that I pursued in terms of religion, sorry, bear with me, I'm just going to put something to listen to in the background. The main quality that would attract me to a certain type of religious movement would have to be humility. That was the defining quality that I was looking for in a religion that I wanted to worship. And at the time, the apostolic sect was fairly new to Zimbabwe, and it was gaining momentum. It was slowly gaining momentum. So, but it was still pretty shunned upon. It was still looked down upon. It was for people who came from impoverished backgrounds, and it was almost shameful to attend such churches. So I resolved when I was 16 that I actually wanted to pursue that kind of religion. I went to my mother's church. I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not here to debunk any religion or criticize or discourage anyone from going there. I'm just going to tell my story like it occurred. So when I went to that church, I was really, really intrigued by the leader of the church, who seemed very humble and extremely modest in the way he carried himself. Although he was the leader, but he didn't have a lavish lifestyle like you would expect a church leader to have, or a person who's an authority to have. So I was really, really intrigued, and I was really impressed, and I actually aspired to be that way. So what happened was I joined that church. I rejoined it, so to speak, because my mom had us baptized when we were younger. My siblings and I, we were baptized in that church when we were much, much younger. But I actually grew up in a different religion. And then I went back to my mother's religion. The reason I admired this kind of worship was because it had an element of suffering or of denying yourself, so to speak. So I went to this religion, and we used to pray in the mountains, we used to fast, we used to sing very loud, and it was very much participatory. So I really, really felt that I found my comfortable environment to worship God in and to seek God's face. So at the age of 27, after I returned from university, I decided to go on a pilgrimage with a certain lady in the church. This lady, we went to one of these mountains, sacred mountain in Zimbabwe. And these mountains are sacred because there's many spirits that reside in the mountain, and they're not frequented by people by virtue of the fact that they're sacred. So I went there, and I spent 3 days and 3 nights worshipping and praying with this woman, and we were praying and we were just eating popcorn and drinking water, no other food. And it was supposed to be a selfless act in search of God's favor. So at the end of the 3 days, we decided to come down the mountain and to return to our separate abodes. But as I came down the mountain, I had mixed feelings and mixed reviews about this whole experience. I was anticipating that I would feel happy and rejuvenated and revived. So I went down the mountain, and strangely enough, I was feeling ill within myself. I was feeling sick. I felt thirsty. I couldn't quench my thirst. I would rise